Faith Fulfilled, Book 1, Mike's Legacy, Chapter 4, Miners Below. The monsters of the night are about to meet their doom at the merciless glare of the morning sunrise. Skeleton bones crackled, rotten zombie flesh cooked, and the moon finally set. Now the morning, with most assaulters either burned or fleeing, the two men awoke from their slumber.
Mike,
a voice said mockingly.
Michael, get up, lazy bones.
Clyde, would you knock it off?
But Mike, you're the one who wanted me to wake you up this early.
Fine, I'm awake,
Mike said, as he slowly got out of bed. He let out a long yawn, stretched his sore muscles, letting out quiet grunts as he did so.
I told you not to go after 5 creepers at once, but you just didn't listen to me.
Yeah, you said the same thing last night.
But you'd still do it again, wouldn't you?
You bet I would!
Guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Clyde went to their storage chest and looked through various items inside. Then he pulled out a crumpled map, the one they used countless times to navigate around the world.
Today's the day we tackle that cave.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry for being grumpy. I remember now why I needed to be up so early.
Well, let's not waste any more time than we need to. Eat up, and get what you need for the trip.
Gotcha.
Michael cooked a few of the remaining fish he had caught the previous afternoon to fuel him for his upcoming mining trip.
Don't you ever get sick of eating just fish every day?
Clyde asked, as he slipped his iron armor on.
Clyde, if it's either eat the same thing every day or die, I think the choice is obvious.
Yeah, I mean, we could look for other things to hunt.
Nah, I'd rather spend my time hunting monsters than defenseless animals.
Whatever you say.
They finished their morning grub and get what they needed. Pickaxes, shovels, torches, lots of torches, a supply of food, armor on their bodies, and swords in their hands. Oh, and they cannot forget their map. As the morning sun continued to rise over the horizon, the two warriors left their home and made their way to the north, towards the cave. They found themselves at the edge of where two biomes met, a tree-filled flatlands and an empty desert.
You think there are any temples in that desert?
Clyde asked with interest.
I don't know, but I would love to find out. First, though, we need to explore this cave for diamonds.
So, the score right now is tied at 28, right?
No, Clyde. It's 28 to 26. I'm leading you by 2.
Mike said with slight annoyance.
Well then, if I find a patch of 3 diamonds, I'll be taking the lead.
We'll see about that.
You're on.
Well then, may the best miner win.
Michael and Clyde always competed to see which one could find the most diamonds by the end of the week. The current week was about to reach its end, so this mining trip would most likely decide the winner of the week. Traveling down the dark halls of the cave, Michael searched and searched for the precious blue gems. He saw plenty of iron and coal and a few patches of lapis, but no precious diamonds were revealed.
Yes, more gold,
Mike said, as he drew his iron pickaxe and mined every last piece up. Unlike Clyde, Michael never passes up gold ore. He uses it to create golden apples, which are specialized apples that can heal certain wounds when eaten. It's one of his many ways of staying durable during battle. Around the corner lay a decent pool of lava, but just across from reach lay 4 shiny blue diamonds. He just couldn't reach them.
Gah! I knew I was forgetting something! I forgot to bring blocks to place!
Mike thought to himself. He began to break the stone blocks around him and collected its cobble, starting to create a small path to cross the lava pool. About halfway through the lava path, the sound of bones clanking together echoes through the cave.
Oh no.
Mike mutters to himself and draws his sword and quickly turns around. Slowly emerging from the shadows of the caverns, a skeleton glows in the light of the lava. Drawing its bow, its arrow flies toward Mike, who quickly dodges it and watches the arrow soar into the lava and melting away. Running down the small cobble path, Mike reels his sword back and slashes at the skeleton. Tumbling down to the ground, the bone rattles to the floor behind him.
Well, that was a close one, wasn't it?
Swiftly, he turns around back to the lava and continues to place his cobble blocks till he reaches the other side. Once he cleared the surrounding area, he started to mine each diamond ore and adding it all up in his inventory. By the time he had finished, the vein of diamonds he had collected 6 diamond ore.
Ha! Let's see Clyde beat that!
Mike thought to himself. Making sure there aren't any more veins of ore in the area, he went back down to the cobblestone path of his own design. Caves are naturally dark, meaning that monsters shelter here during the day and even sometimes at night. Hearing the sound of zombies groaning should be an expected sound. However, this was different. It was as if there was a small army of them.
A dungeon?
He thought.
No, it couldn't be.
Naturally, he followed the sound and started seeing traces of mossy cobblestone. Soon, a small glow was emitting, and because of this small light, Mike could see the green, shriveled up faces of the undead. And he wasn't the only one to notice the other, and soon all of the green molded faces turned towards him. A handful among them were elite. Those that were drew their old rusty iron swords.
About time I got a real challenge. I've had enough of these skeletons who are too afraid to fight me face to face.
Mike said out loud. Drawing his sword, he grounds himself, and then launches himself out at the closest elite. Locking blades with one another, Mike shows a confident smile as he swiftly moves to the left. With undead legs that were incapable of moving at high speeds, the zombie was unable to move out of the way fast enough. Cut at the knees, the elite falls to the ground.
Trouble getting up?
With one swift strike, he decapitates 3 regular zombies, who fall to the floor with their elite comrade. Slowly, more and more of the undead start to surround Mike. He quickly takes his blade and spins in a quick circle, and all of the undead surrounding him fall to the floor.
Stop hogging all the fun for yourself, will ya?
A voice calls out in the distance.
About time you showed up. What were you doing? Taking a nap with the creeper?
Hey, that was one time, and it wasn't even my fault.
Yeah, keep your head in the here and now.
As Clyde comes into the cave further and fights his way toward Mike until they are back to back, fighting off the horde.
So how we doing?
Same as always.
That bad, huh?
Clyde smirked. Mike brings his sword up and knocks down another zombie coming up next to Clyde.
Watch your 6 instead of trying to antagonize me.
Mike sarcastically states back before going back to fighting his side of the horde. The fighting seemed to go on for hours, and Mike and Clyde held their own. But the horde just seemed to keep growing.
Oh, for Notch's sake. I forgot we have to target the spawner.
Clyde said, feeling stupid. Taking down another zombie, he starts to go toward the spawner, not being able to notice the elite sneaking up after him.
Clyde, watch out!
Mike yells. Clyde turns around and screams, and falls back as he sees a blade aimed at his face. Mike hurls his sword at the zombie, hovering over his best friend, and watches him fall over to the side. He runs up to his friend, punching a few zombies out of the way.
Thanks, Mike.
Clyde says sheepishly.
So that's how many times I've saved your skin now?
Just shut up and help me up.
Reaching down, Mike pulls Clyde up to a standing position.
You get the spawner and I'll cover you.
Mike says, picking up his sword again.
Got it.
Clyde runs back toward the glowing cage and starts to hack away at it with his iron pickaxe. The cage breaks into several hundreds of bits onto the floor. The 2 warriors successfully finish off the remainder of zombies in the room. Clyde, grasping for breath, out of shock, says,
Next time we run into a situation like that, can we not bicker?
Sorry, bud. You started it.
Whatever. Now let's see what reward we get for all that trouble.
Clyde walks over to one of the 2 chests in the dungeon and opens it with excitement.
You gotta be kidding me.
What? Did you find another chest filled with string?
Worse. Saddles.
Oh, fun. And we never even use horses.
Clyde slowly walks over to the second and final chest.
For the record, if I find diamonds in this next chest, they count to my score.
Hey, now wait a minute!
Oh wait, you don't get diamonds in dungeons, do you?
Oh yeah, you're right. If there's iron in there, take it. We can use it to repair our armor.
Right.
Opening the second chest, Clyde pulls out 2 bars of iron, 3 strings, and an empty bucket.
Great, this dungeon was a waste.
Clyde mutters, slamming the chest shut.
Oh, come now, Clyde. Every iron ingot counts.
You sound like a wise old man living alone in the plains.
No, it's just unlike you, I look for the positivity in certain things. Plus, who doesn't like slashing zombies' heads off?
Me.
You aren't fooling anyone. You love knocking down zombies just as much as I do.
Mike replied.
So anyway, what's your final score for today, huh?
Clyde asked with anticipation.
What's yours?
Not fair, I asked first.
Fine. I got 6. Funny, 'cause you can't watch your 6.
3.
Sorry, what?
I got 3.
I'm not sure I caught what you said.
You know what I said, you blockhead.
Whoa! You kiss your mother with that mouth? Anyways, that makes the final score for the week, 34 to 29. Looks like I win.
Whatever. I'll win next week.
Clyde says, wiping off some dirt that had gotten on his face.
Let's head on home.
Starting back out of the cave with Clyde closely behind.